Bueno, gente buena, esto es nuevamente el Café Podcast. Estamos con otro espacio, con otra, probablemente otra hora. No, uno no trata de extenderse, pero acuérdense, son unas buenas historias. Pero hoy creo que vamos a romper un poco los esquemas. Hoy vamos un poquito más allá y trajimos a una persona que lo conocí en México. Jugamos juntos y créeme que tuvimos una buena amistad en tanto a esa temporada que quedamos campeones en México. Entonces, vamos a hablar un poquito más de eso, obvio, más adelante, como siempre he dicho, pero tengo que darle por lo menos una iniciativa de lo que va a pasar. Pero esta entrevista es un poco diferente, así que espero les guste. De verdad, sinceramente, por aquí, esta es una persona que tiene muchas cosas que contar. Hermano, Arturo, welcome to my show. This is, for me, it's pretty special because I remember we talk about this. We talk about how important it is of us, that we had a lot of experience in baseball and life, to get that message or to get all the stuff that we went through in pro baseball, actually outside of baseball too, because sometimes they don't know what's going on after to go out there and trying to get three hits. Welcome, brother. Welcome to my show.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate you having me, man. It's an honor. We talked about you doing other stuff too, and this is such a great thing to see you doing, and to see your posts and everything, Even on the For You page, I've seen stuff. So it's just sick, man. It's an honor to be on the show, and thank you for having me.
Hermano, I always gonna be grateful to know you. That's the thing. It's an awesome teammate, awesome guy, a fighter. So I see you work. I see you go by your business, and you're really serious about winning. Talk me about that, brother. Tell me about your career.
Oh man, so career got started in 2010. I signed with the Blue Jays of Toronto, and went to the GCL, grinded there, had my first little taste, my first experience. And, obviously you go in there. For me, I hadn't been around that kind of atmosphere. I didn't know professionals like that. And I didn't have anyone in my circle who can kind of guide me into that, prepare me for that. Mm-hmm. So going in kind of just eyes wide open, like a deer in the headlights, and just trying to, like, wow, okay, this is what it is, looking around all these great athletes and people that play my position.
Right.
But immediately, I felt like I fit in, I felt like I could play there. I felt like I belonged, I had been preparing my mind. I've been preparing my body. And obviously this is a dream come true. So I'm there to shine. I'm there to show them my skills too.
Yeah, and 100%. This is a young guy. This is the young stars, It's like the back doesn't hurt. The knees don't hurt. So you ready there? Yeah, you ready for the competition? You got like 4 guys behind you taking ground balls, and you say, "Let's go."
Huh? Let's do it, baby. Yep, right off the plane. I'm ready to go. But yeah, man, it was cool. I actually had a couple people with the organization that I knew already, so that kind of helped too. Had a guy named Casey Hobson that played, in Bakersfield as well. Mm-hmm. He played with the Blue Jays too for a while. I had Johnny Jones, as you know Jones. So I had Jones there with me as well. So he was my roommate. So we've known each other for years.
Oh my God, I cannot, bro. That guy as a roommate. Oh my Lord. Yeah, man. It's not gonna be a day for you to be sad or bored. It's gonna be always a good day.
You know it. Good vibes always.
Yeah, brother.
Cool because we also grew together in the game too. You know what I mean? And had our different areas, but we all came back together here in Mexico. And what's the chances? You know what I mean? But yeah, man, the first year it was definitely a great taste. First foot in the door. You know what I'm saying? I got to kind of get going into it, learning what truly working like a professional was like. Because it's different. You think
it's a big step. It's a big step. It's not like you playing on your backyard. It's like you get in the first clubhouse. I remember in my first instructional league, I'm like, okay, should I just talk? Should I not talk? Should I just sit?
Wow. No one knows me. I hear all these people speaking Spanish over here, English over here. I'm like, man,
what's going on? Yeah. You know about that. I post something about Venezuelans. Actually, we always kind of like put it like this. Sometimes in interviews or something, we talk about Dominicans. Sometimes
Yeah.
and I told the people, I said, it's normal because you actually hanging out with those guys every single day, listening to what he say. They the most talkers.
Yep. You in the clubhouse. If you don't have your headphones on and you're not like busy in a conversation, you hear that over there. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, and they're playing
Exactly.
cards. You know what I'm saying? They have their conversations going. So
Playing casino.
yep. You know, what was the other one? What was it? Man, I forget. It's like spades, kind of, but
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah.
yeah, a whole bunch of different games, man. But I enjoyed it. I went over there. I was playing cards. You know me. I get along with everybody. So even though I didn't understand what everybody was saying, they might have been cheating.
It don't matter. It
Cards,
don't matter.
you know?
Yeah. You still body against everything, against the odds, against the languages and everything.
They might have been cheating me in cards. Now that I think about it, I didn't understand. But
Yeah. But
no, it was
about that
funny.
point, you're really good in Spanish. It's not like it's no, you adapt a different accents.
Yeah.
You know when they talk, I'm gonna say it like this. I'm not gonna sound racist. But you talk Mexican Spanish, you
Uh-huh.
talk with Dominicans, you talk with Venezuelans, and you already know the words. So that's why it's my point. Sometimes you
Yeah.
adapt on the situation, and especially you just have to be on the same page of everybody to understand, or probably on the play on the game that you actually want to talk in Spanish, right?
Exactly. Those essentially, man, you get there and those are all strangers when you first get there, But then you play with them, they become your brothers. You know what I'm saying? And you got your brothers, you got to communicate with your brothers. They don't know English. So we're trying to educate each other so that I can get along. We can go out to the disco, you know what I mean? Wherever we go, you know what I'm saying? Wherever we going, you know what I mean? We got
Right.
the field and off the field, everybody's tight. So that to me is huge, being able
That
to
makes actually a better clubhouse and
100%.
better and out there on the field to
Without a
compete. So
doubt.
you engage. So when you engage, sometimes you got a green gun first, and you tell Ibarra, "Hey, go behind," and
Yeah,
you put
yeah.
a play, and the guy doesn't know what you're talking
Don't
about. So
know.
you take advantage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah,
Got all the
those part of
advantage.
the games, man. And sometimes people sometimes are stupid, but you know what I'm saying. But
No doubt. No doubt.
you go through it. But
Yep.
yeah, so we go back to you in with the Blue Jays. How many years you spent there,
I was there with them from 2010 to 2012.
and then you went to Philadelphia, right? You went to the
Exactly.
Phillies.
Yeah, we won the
Hmm.
championship 2012, and
With Toronto.
yeah,
Uh huh.
Northwest League. I won the championship with Toronto,
Uh huh.
and I was preparing. I literally had my bags packed, ready for spring training. I was leaving, I think, in 2 days, and then I got a call. Hey, you've been traded, and I was like, wait, what? What?
Yeah, and it's hard to actually get through that
Understand?
because you don't know what's next. So
Yeah,
actually, you don't know what's out there. It's a
yeah.
different. You have to know people. You have to know the coaches.
No doubt.
So it's hard.
No doubt. But the good thing though is that it wasn't like I was going from, the Blue Jays to the Diamondbacks, right? Who I didn't play against them or anything. The good thing is that Clearwater is right down the street from Dunedin.
So you just got it.
Yeah.
Open the door, please.
We've been playing against them the whole time I've been in pro ball, so nothing changed. It was like, oh, what's up, Chase? Oh, what's up, Rome? Oh, talking to all the people that I'd already been talking to, coach is the same. So it was a good transition, easy.
So this is one part of baseball that we probably don't get. You
Yeah.
probably go out there or went out there and kill it, and you actually was playing because you thought Blue Jays is gonna take you to the big leagues, right?
Without a doubt. Yep.
But on the other side, probably one guy out there watch you and say that guy is pretty good. That
Yep.
guy, yeah, and said, you know what? I'm gonna ask for that guy, and probably got better chances here. So that's why you have to play hard every day, huh?
Always. You never know who's
Uh-huh.
watching. That's one lesson that
That's
that can be taught to everybody who plays this game, from the youngsters all the way through high school, college, professional. It doesn't matter. Play as hard as you can, play the game the right way, because there's always somebody watching. And that's exactly what happened. They traded for me, and I didn't understand it. I'm like, dang, like the Blue Jays just giving me away. Like I just had a good.
They just say, what I did wrong? What's going on? Yeah.
I just killed it in playoffs. You know, we won a championship. I'm like, what's happening? You know, but then I started understanding. People told me like, hey man, like when I got to the Phillies, hey, we traded for you, man. We believe in you, you know, and we wanted you. You know what I mean? Like you're a good dude, but you're also a great ball player, and we believe that you're going to help our organization win. And I was like, man, and that's such a good thing.
Hey, after that, when they say that, that's when you like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to work.
Let's play some ball now. Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Some ball now.
So how was there? What you tell us about that organization and your time that you spent there?
Yeah, well, the Blue Jays, I love the Blue Jays, right? That was the organization that drafted me. I saw so many great things.
It's always going to be a special.
100%. Such a great player development, you know, like all my friends, right? I went over here, and it was, like I said, it was like I was playing with the neighbors down the street. You know what I mean? I had my family at home, but I was playing with the neighbors down the street, and it became a brotherhood quick. The chemistry was there quick. We had already been to the club and to the discos, you know, with them too. You know what I mean? We all been partying together already.
Is that time with that Cupid shuffle or what? What's going on? That's great, man. That's great. That's always the best time of the minors, brother. You go and you go to the clubs or the bar and they start dancing, and you know, hey, nobody know me here. Why not? Let's go.
Why not? I can do whatever I want. And you're never a baseball player. You know what I mean? You're just the person having fun. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You actually separate that. You forget about it. That's your time to clear. That's your time to enjoy the time too. Yeah. That's part of it. I mean, and sometimes, Charles, you need it.
You need it.
Sometimes you need it.
You need it, bro.
Because it's a lot of stress. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of awful force. You know?
I'd have been over seven in a row with 7 Ks. I know how that is. You know, you know, it's if you ain't struck out 3 or 4 times in a row, you ain't played long enough. It's coming. You know what I mean? It's coming.
100%. And you got to be ready for it. It's not like you expect it, but you got to be ready for it.
Your mental is good, baby, because it's coming. Yeah.
So, bro. Yeah. Phillies. And then you went to indie ball.
Yes, sir. So I had a great time with the Phillies organization. They treated me well. You know, much respect to them. Nothing bad to say at all. You know, they gave me my opportunities, my shots. I just wasn't good enough. You know, whenever they released me, it was because I needed to work on my game more. There was something missing. So when I got released, I felt embarrassed. Obviously, you know, I was like, damn, like.
You don't want that. You don't want that.
And then I had to go home and face everybody I just left, and was like, you know, it's that feeling of like.
To tell your family, I got released. I mean,
your friends. Why aren't you in spring training? Oh man,
are you playing ball right now? What are you doing here?
You're supposed to be gone. I thought you left already. You know,
to tell them that is, oh my god, I bet it's really hard.
Yeah, that feeling was bad, right? But then that also gave me a motivation to look inside and be introspective and be like, why didn't it work out? You know, what did I need to do? What do I need to be better at? You know, what part of my game do I need to work on so that this doesn't happen again? You know? And then I had to ask too the question of like, man, like, why didn't I make the decision prior? You know, so I feel like they did me a favor in releasing me so that I can come back, you know, and do what I need to do. Exactly. So like you said, I went to indie ball after that, but between the time of me getting released and indie ball, bro, I kicked myself in the butt and I made myself go to work, bro. Everything
changed, I bet.
Everything changed. I wrote down in my book like what I needed to change, you know, my approach, my swing mechanics, my mindset, you know, maybe a little less discos, you know what I mean? Like
exactly. I mean, like we said, sometimes you need it, but when you kind of make adjustment, that's kind of something that you also, hey, let's go right here, and they just go away from it. We need it, but go away. Okay. Yeah.
Because ultimately, it's your career, you know, and you're being paid to perform. You know,
right?
If you're not going out there performing, then there's another guy behind you in low A, high A, double A, triple A.
He's waiting. He's waiting.
wants that opportunity. He is hungry. Now he's salivating. He's mad at the barbecue. He buzzing around trying to wait till you put the food down, So that was something I learned, and I feel like I needed that. So then I went to indie ball with a completely different mindset. I feel like not that I had something to prove to anyone else. It wasn't ever about anyone else at that point. It was about me because I saw myself as this guy, and now I needed to do what I had to do to get that guy out. So the world
100%.
Yeah. And change the mindset up. The work ethic was always there. I always worked hard, but I worked more efficiently, more smart, right? I was more intentional with what I did, more deliberate.
With a purpose.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
My preparation was different in that sense. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to go take 100 swings. It was like, why am I going to take these swings? What am I getting out of these swings? What am I working at, And again, as a professional, you see guys doing these things and these things, right? But then you go on the other side of it and you're like, well, did I really focus in it? Was I really that locked in, that kind of stuff? And then sure enough, it was like, okay.
Yeah.
This is what
Charles, 1 minute. If your phone on the sound?
Yeah, but this was from my computer. Let me
Don't worry about it. We see it here. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
But it's something that is great when you know and you see it on yourself and say it's something missing. You have to click, but you have to find it. It's not like it's right here. Pop. No.
Yeah.
How you find it? You work.
No doubt.
How you find it? You help yourself out there with conversations. You asking people. You getting information of probably something or your routine or something that you have to see different. Yeah.
Let me see if I can get this thing off there.
Not a problem, brother. Not a problem.
Yeah, it's just my computer. It keeps going every time I get a message.
Hey, I bet that's Molina, bro. What the heck?
Need my money for my bags, dog.
But so in indie ball, how was there? How was your year? How you feel? It really clicked. It really worked for you, and the adjustment that you actually decide to make.
Yeah, man. So, like I said, I went in there with a different mindset, and it felt good because indie ball teams are reaching out to me, So after being released, it felt good to be wanted, like, oh, okay, well, I can play this game still. People do see that I can do stuff. They want me on their team,
Yeah.
And that helped my confidence too. Like, okay,
100%.
like I can still do this, because some players crumble, and then they don't ever play again. But me, I was like, man, like I know I can play. I know I can do this. I have way more inside of me to give to the game. This ain't it for me.
Yeah.
So
that's the main thing, man. If you have to, I always say, you have to believe it first. You have to believe it first.
Yep.
Siempre. If you don't believe in you, it's like it's fire. It's something that is there. When it goes, you don't have to let that thing go down. No, get some sticks or something. Yeah, exactly. So so Mexico, how you get there? How after indie ball you got experience there, and then you went to Mexico, right?
Yeah, well, I went to indie ball, and because of that mindset, those adjustments that I made, I killed it. Had a great year. I won the Triple Crown. I was the indie ball player of the year. I was smashing. I was fielding. I did it all, So it was like a culmination of all the belief. Like you said, if you believe, you have to believe it first, right? A quote I've always believed in is, if you believe it, you can achieve it,
100%.
And that's something I've had since 2009 on a paper, like if you can believe it, you can achieve it. So I was like, I'm going to get back. That was my goal. I'm going to get back. But through indie ball, I found like the love for the game again. It wasn't like a business. It was be where your feet are, stay in the moment, hone your skills, go out there, compete, go out there, win, and kick some ass. You know what I mean? That was it. And I did that, kept it simple.
Yeah.
kick ass.
But how important is to have that winning mentality every day? That
Oh,
winning mentality gets you all. There's something that it wakes up on you that you don't know. To
without
try
a
to
doubt.
win, to try to win every day is something that gets you not even 100%. It's
Yep.
a level that you not even know the numbers. And I know you one of the guys because every time every time I see you play and you was there on first, right? Diving on balls. And I remember this because that year you wasn't having that great beginning of the season. And I
Yep.
remember that, right?
Yep.
So we're going a little forward,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
this is a great sample of that because
Without a doubt.
to have that winning mentality to go out there and not the staff or hitting wasn't that good. You was
Mhm.
going to first base and diving on balls almost in freaking second base. And I remember that. I remember that,
Yeah.
you know?
Like, if I can't cut you this way, I got to figure out how to cut you that way. You know what I'm saying? If I
That's the
can't,
deal.
I got to help the team win somehow. You know, and at that time, my bat wasn't getting it done.
Because
But
you
you
were
know what?
still there. You're still in the
Yeah,
line. It's not
100%.
like you 100 sometimes you win games just on defense. And sometimes you hit 3 homers, but the game is tied and you die for the ball and you win 4-3.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. So it's not like I know some guys that they don't separate that. They
100%.
don't,
Yeah, and
and
that's the
when they
problem. You know, whenever you take an error that you make on defense, or you take a strikeout or a bad at bat on offense, and you take it to the other position, vice versa, you know, to offense or to defense,
Mhm.
you lose both sides. You lose both ways, right? So, like you
Yeah.
said, winning mentality is huge because it's like, man, like I said, if I can't cut you one way, I'm gonna figure out how to cut you over here. You
Papo,
know?
I remember you having these scratches. Remember that?
I got scars still, bro. I still got the scars. Hey,
Bro, I'm
yeah.
like, you came out, and I'm trying to tell you, hell yeah, big guy or something, and you went like this, like, hey, good, okay, no, yeah, man.
You gotta get that taken care of real quick. We'll get some water. We'll get some water over there. Get that dirt off you right there, man. Trainer!
Oh my god, bro.
Hey, trainer, Chino.
I think Charles,
His
I
arm.
think you need some help.
Yeah.
But
I remember
but
that
man,
though.
yeah, but and then Arturo, something happened to you, bro. And then and there's one thing, and I'm gonna tell you in this opportunity that I have to see you take out your business every day to work, to get there early, get 1,000 swings when it's freaking hot and humid, and you don't need that many swings sometimes in Yucatan. And you was out there sweating you, and I'm sitting there watching you, man, every day. And you went out there and take ground balls after that because that's the, like you said, I'm gonna practice this because I'm gonna take every ground ball. And you was with that mentality every single day. And you wasn't having that positive stuff out there. And you
Yep.
was there every day, swing by swing, trying to find it. But you got injured.
Yep.
And
You know,
there's something, oh my God, there's something that I I I got injured a lot, man. And you know that. And I'll tell you this before, and we talk about it.
yep.
And it's bad. It's frustrating, and it's not even that. It's something that you feel that you don't know.
Without a
You know
doubt. Yeah.
how to explain it. How to explain it. How you sit there and see yourself like, hey, we're gonna. The worst thing is when they tell you we're gonna see a doctor.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, the one thing too, they told me they're like, "Hey, man, like it's all right. You're gonna be okay." And I had to look at it was our psychology guy, you know.
uh huh.
He told me, "Hey, man, everything's gonna be okay. You're gonna come back. Like we'll see you in a couple weeks. Like you'll be fine. Watch." And I told him, I was like, "Man, look, like I appreciate it, but I'm really good with pain, and something ain't right.
Something is not right. I feel it. I'm feeling it.
Like you said, that feeling inside. As soon as I hit that wall and I hit, boom, I was like, I laid on the ground because it like took my breath away. You know, I was just like, and I just thought immediately, I'm out for the season. Like I knew, like I had a feeling. I was just
That happened to me, and I tell you, when I was laying down after my last surgery with the Mets, I was laying down, and the trainer is like, "Get up," and I'm like, "I can't.
I can't help. No, I need your help.
You need to get another guy." It's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, but you're fine." I'm not. You know?
You like that Kevin Hart? Help me. You know the one.
But and then I went to the doctor. I went to the doctor, and then this guy is like, we're gonna go to the thing, and I know it's not gonna be something that we worry about. And I said, look, my other knee got the same situation, and I feel exactly the same that the other. But we're gonna go to the MRI. I spend then an hour if you want me to. After when the doctor came in and checked the stuff, they're like, "Hey, you're right," and I'm like,
"You're like, yeah, just call me Dr. Martinez."
but
yeah.
So, and then you went to the doctor, and then you feel something that actually. How much time, how bad it is, what I'm going to do to go back. And then you start listening to people. Hey, that happened to me. You remember that? You remember? It's always like, it happened to me. You just got to do this. You got to do that. You got to do that. But how hard is to rehab a freaking knee? You tell me, please.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We talked about the winning mentality, right? With playing every day. This is a whole different type of mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like, I asked him, I was like, hey, what's the plan? How long do you think this is going to take for me to get back and right? Mm-hmm. And what do you guys think? And he was like, well, look, like, to be honest with you, it's going to be a long time.
They're not even telling you like 6 months, nothing.
Yeah. They just said, but you are going to be out for the season. Oh. And I was just like, dang, like, okay. He was like, well, what we're going to do first, we're going to put you in this brace. You're not going to be able to move your leg. You're going to be on crutches, And I was just like, okay, like, doing that whole thing. But just the fast forwarding, and we talked. I was like, hey, man, you're like, hey, man, I've kind of been through something similar. I'm going to send you some exercises that you can do, and I appreciate you for that, too. I told you before, but I'll tell you again. Thank you for that, because they help. They truly help, man. Yeah. And going back, you're sitting, and again, anytime you're hurt, you're in a dark place. We're competitors. We train all off season to come out here and perform. And even though my performance wasn't the best that year, I still, like you said, on defense, I was getting it in. I was giving my all, anything I had, I was doing it, right? Yeah. But that's the performance, you know what I mean? I wanted to perform. And then for that to be taken away from you because you get hurt in the sideline, now you're going into a dark place like, well, dang, how do I get back? What do I got to do to get back?
Quick to get back quick to help my team to go out there and play. Yeah.
Without a doubt, right? So then obviously they were like, hey, look, you're not going to be playing anytime soon. We're going to send you home. And I was just like, okay. I didn't pack any of my stuff. I just packed a quick little go bag, and I dipped, So I get home. I saw another doctor, and they're like, yeah, you're going to be gone it's going to be about 3 months more, because I got back home in September. You're going to be done. You won't be doing anything swing related until maybe mid-December, And I was like, okay, not.
I got a time. Yeah.
To prepare. I got some time to prepare. So then once I had like an idea of a time, then it was like, okay, my competitive mindset kicked in. Was like, okay, cool. Well, tell me what I need to do. Do I need to stay off it for this amount of time? Okay, cool. I can't walk? All right, perfect. When can I do that? How long do you think that should take? He's like, well, for normal people, it takes this long, but since you're an athlete, you're active, you're probably going to be a little bit less. And I was like, all right, perfect. I'm shooting for a little bit less.
100%. I'm working hard for that.
So Boom, I put the thing on, my bones healed nicely, there was still a little bit of space in between that needed, but he was like, look, you can start doing a little bit more, doing your rehab stuff, and every single day during my rehab, what I told myself was, this is going to be a special year. You're preparing this way, it's going to be a special year. You didn't have your best showing. Again, you don't have nothing to prove to anyone else, but you have everything to prove to yourself. Your defense was on. It's time to bring the bat and make sure the bat's right too. So immediately I started tracking pitches. I wasn't even swinging. I could barely stand. I was just tracking pitches. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Light board. Had the light board going.
Yeah.
My eyes right, getting all my training in for my eyes, the stuff that I could do, lifting upper body. I feel like I had a Johnny Bravo body.
Like an ice cone. Ice cone.
Yeah. I had no legs, but I was lifting up his body doing
Got some boo legs.
man. But I tell you what, though, doing that whole thing without that whole process, it goes back to that winning mindset. What do you want? Yeah, you're hurt, but if you step foot on that field, everybody expects you to perform, regardless if you're hurt or not. You have an expectation of you as a professional to handle your business, to go out there and do your job, help your team win, and win a championship.
Yeah, 100%. And the thing is, you prepare. You're not even working for just rehabbing. Your mind was already to go back and kill.
100%.
It's not like
I already seen in my head. I seen myself hitting home runs in my head, hitting line drives up the middle.
And what happened? Charles, what happened? I mean, I want you to tell.
35 of them boys, baby. 35 of them boys. We came back strong, Came back strong. But again, I saw it here. I believed it here. I believed it in my heart, my soul, everything within me that I was going to do that,
100%.
I told my wife, I was like, I'm going to hit 35 home runs this year. It's like, how many do you think I'm going to hit? She's like, I think you're going to hit 33. And I was like, I'm getting 35. Boom.
Charles.
Listen. We get into season. The season, I had 33. So I texted my wife. I was like, man, you were right. You're right on the money. I had 33. And then I was like, but we still got playoffs,
I got a little more. Yep.
I'm going to get more. End of the season, I hit 2 in playoffs. End of the season with 35. Right? And again, that's the power with seeing it and believing it and achieving it. You know what I mean? If I didn't believe I can do it, then nothing would happen. You know what I'm saying? Nope. But I had that. I prepared all off season, my body, but mostly my mind, to come out here and enjoy the moment, be present, handle my business, and compete and win every single day.
That's it. And that's what I'm saying. I always tell those youngsters that it's not like you don't go through the motions. You don't just come to the field and do the same thing. We do the same thing every day. But I'm going to tell you something. The flips are not the same every day.
Nope.
The ground balls are not the same. Probably Pava is going to hit the ground balls.
You're like, thank you. When Pava does it, he was putting me so, okay. Then you get
come on, Papa, hit it, man. Come on.
Oh shoot, getting the hops. You're like, dang, this ain't what I'm used to, But again, the fields aren't the same. There's gonna be bad hops, there's gonna be good hops. Like you said, good flips, bad flips.
You know how easy it's gonna be if you get the same ground balls and you can actually put your glove there and go, okay, come here. Yep. No, you still gotta read it, you still gotta move your feet, and probably more than the other day. But that's the day that you actually don't expect. So you have to put it like this. Some people don't prepare for ground balls. You have to anticipate to take ground balls. You have to anticipate to take a good BP, to take a good flips. Even though a guy that are talking every day is probably something that you can have for that day to get you pumped up too. Without
a doubt. So that makes me think of, like you said, like, sorry to cut you off, but
no problem.
About practice. You talk about practice, right? BP, cage work, flips, right? There's been a recent interview with Barry Bonds, and he talks about, he's like, I didn't worry about nothing else. I mastered practice before anything. Mastered BP, taking his BP the right way, catching barrels. If you can't barrel a ball up in BP, then how do you expect to barrel that ball up in the game?
No chance. It's right there.
It's
Yeah.
right there. If you can't do this consistently and get that ball wherever you want it to
And
go.
actually, the coach is actually throwing it to you barrel.
Spot. Let me see. Put it right in there.
And then put it like this. It's important because the coach, the put it like this, there's some new coaches on your team. So they're gonna ask you, where do you want it?
Yeah.
How do you like it? Firm or loopy?
Oh, yeah.
So how come if you adapt it for your swing, you're gonna hit a freaking 3 ground balls to shortstop every 5 pelotas, man?
Exactly.
So
with one pop up and one line drive. You got
come
one.
on, man. Yeah, it's always a preparation. It's always you have to be mentally prepared before everything, man. It's not you don't have to let stuff catch you out of no. You have to be. Hey, what's going on? Hey, I'm here. Yeah. I know it probably is gonna. I'm not gonna be successful, but I'm ready. You know,
always ready. So stay ready. You ain't got to get ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you got to get ready.
It's great stuff, man. Great stuff. So, man, let's talk about that year that we went to the championships. We won the championship.
We like talking about that one.
I love it.
we love rings around here, you know.
Yeah, 100%. So, I got there after. I got to you guys after all the situation that I got, whatever, blah blah. So I got there and I feel the pressure right away. I feel the pressure because the first to welcome you is Ibarra. Mokoro. Let's say, cafecito. Órale, ¿cómo estás? And right here, we win a lot, we win. The owners want you to win,
And always how he greets everybody. Hey, if you need anything, come to me. I'm the caballo here,
Siempre. Hey, everybody here, they nobody. I'm the horseshoe. I'll kill in playoff. I hit a homer against this guy and this guy.
Hey, and that's why we all love him. That's why we all love him, bro. Good vibes.
Siempre, man. Siempre. So, bro, people probably don't know how hard was for us to get to that trophy.
Oh man.
So I want you to get a little, we went to all the series. We went to 7-game series. We always have to score plus 15.
Hey, and then coming back down. You know what I mean? Like you said, every series was a grind, bro. Every series was a grind. And it literally took every single one of us to get that win, Every pitcher, every hitter, every defender. Diving plays, big clutch hits, clutch bombs, clutch pitching performances, clutch holds, saves. It took everything of all of us.
And the thing is, we had to do it. It's not like we have no. We was showing on the field saying, "Hey, who's gonna kill tonight? Yeah, you get ready. You're gonna get that clutch hit. You're gonna get that inning that we need on the 8. Get ready for that." And we actually was, boom.
Yep.
We need this inning. You remember that, Charles? I remember.
Like you said. Or go ahead.
I remember I see it on video because I always watch videos and the games and stuff because it gets me freaking. That spirit is unbelievable.
And chills every time.
And I remember we had some innings and we actually needed a double play. We needed actually an impossible catch, and we actually was there to make that catch too. And we took advantage of that momentum and we went back and scored 5 runs. It's crazy. It's hard.
Crazy. And just like you said, like, you're going to come up clutch. It's your day to day. That kind of talk, that kind of winning mentality as a team, pointing people out, they had been having struggles. And they may not have had their best games. Hey, it's your turn. You're going to get it done today. Keep your head up. We need you. We need everybody. Like, keeping everybody's spirits high, keeping the energy right, keeping us together. Everyone went out there and grinded. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that is what winning. That's how winning's done. You know, you got to have chemistry, you got to have brotherhood, the family aspect, but you got to also have the ability to reach down when someone's down and pick them up. You know,
Come on, come on. Everybody's here. Yep.
Put you on your back, and then we get on someone else's back. We're all going. You know, we're all pulling the same direction.
Yeah.
And like you said, big catches, big plays. We did it. You know, it was like boom. You ask and you shall receive.
And we have to play like that. We have to. We had no choices.
No room for error at all.
Everybody was saying, "Oh, you don't like Yucatan on the playoffs because, I mean, if it would have been for that easy, we were like, okay, we're gonna win today." No, it was hard.
Especially, I mean, every series, like I said, was hard. Every series had their challenges. Like you said, we went to Game 7 every single series, which is crazy, right? But the one to me that was the craziest was obviously Mexico City, bro. That Mexico City series was unbelievable.
Charles, tell me one moment that you remember of that series that actually changed everything on the momentum.
I'll tell you exactly what it is because I remember texting my dad, right? We had the rain. We're down by like 8 runs. Facing elimination, we had the rain, right? We came in, and my dad had texted me like, "Hey, you guys rained out." I'm like, "Oh, we're just waiting." And I was like, "But if the energy doesn't change," I said, "we're going to lose this game." I said, "I still believe we can come back and win, but if the energy doesn't change, we're going to lose."
This is 8 runs down, right?
And down eight. And I told him, we still have a chance. We can do it. There's still time left to play in this game. We have a chance. But if the energy doesn't change, we're going to lose, you know? And me as a competitor, I don't ever accept losing, you know? But I told him, I was like, this is the reality. We have to change. We have to figure something out. And what it was for me was whenever, was it Wata? He started.
Wata. Yeah.
Michael Jackson, boy, he started dancing. He started doing the Thriller, boy. I said, hey, he started dancing. Everybody's got their spirits up. I remember Eric and Juan came in. They were like looking mad, and then we were all in there laughing and joking and dancing. And then they were looking around like, it's like, okay. And I texted my dad right after that. I said, the energy just shifted. I told him, energy just shifted. We're going to come back and win this game.
I think I got a point for you, comment, sir. Yeah. So, Arturo, I remember, this is crazy. I remember Ibarra mentioned, he told Pepon, actually that moment after he told Pepon, he went to Pepon and said, you are going to be the lead off guy on the game, mañana. If you hit a homer, we're going to win the game. And I'm sitting on the chair and I'm like, bro, we just need a momentum. I said, we just need a walk. You know,
you talking about my at bat?
No, Pepon. You remember that Pepon came in and you see the homer right after the next day, Okay, yeah. So Pepon hit this memo homer to the line. Remember that?
Yeah.
So I do remember that. I went to Ibarra and I said, "What?" And then my spirit went, "Well, if it's just a coincidence, we want to win this game."
We win it.
Hey, 100%. And then every at bat, every pitch was count. Every at bat, every situation, everything was. But it was an energy. It was incredible, huh?
Man, unreal. Like you said, that home run, boom, set it off. After that, everybody was hitting line drive, double. We scored line drive, double. Walk, pitching change, double. It was crazy. It was crazy, man.
Yeah, bro.
And they thought they had it in the bag.
They thought they had it since the freaking beginning.
No doubt. We popped that bubble quick. We
went pow. Let's go. You know? And some people don't know that we had a lot of situations outside that series. We had a lot of situations, you know.
One big one, yeah.
Yeah. You remember when in Puebla that we had those shot fires out our truck?
I do remember that.
You know? And freaking Mokoro, man. Mocker is like, if this happening and we alive, we win it.
Right. We're here for a reason. We're here for a reason.
Yeah, but
Remember that, bro. Right? Everybody riding on the ground.
hey,
Like,
remember Romulo? Remember Romulo?
hey, big guy, you can't get down there, dog. Hey, big guy.
So, bro, so we win
Oh,
that
man.
and we win the series, but after we win the series, we went to a best or a little harder chance we was because Monterrey had the pitching.
Yeah, yeah,
And they
sure.
wasn't good hitters, but they had the pitchings. They had Johander that they has a crazy and unbelievable year, and they
Yep.
had that bullpen that was unbelievable. They had Tehran,
Yep.
and we had those raining games every freaking day. Tell me about those days that I remember.
Man, so having all the rain delays over and over, coming out, coming in, let's play. Then we don't play. Then we come back the next day. Like for me, I was like, you know what? Once we got to Mexico City, we beat them. My mindset was like, if we can come back after the trials and the tribulations we faced in this series, we're winning. We get to Monterrey knowing that, like you said, they had the pitching.
Yeah.
They had all the arms out of the pen.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, if we can go out here and beat the guy who hasn't been beaten and set the tone from the game one, we gonna get this. We got it.
Hey, and the thing is how we set up to Joander. That was unbelievable, huh?
Yeah.
You remember that was the game plan to beat him?
What we have? Just make him throw strikes, but make him fill up the zone.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
make him
it.
fill up the zone.
But we have the advantage that when we play at home, it's humid.
100%.
So the ball, the jersey,
Was
and the
sticky.
stuff, and we was there like, let's go.
A little bit
Yeah.
different.
Yeah,
But
but
I really feel that. I feel like we have that advantage. We go to the
Yeah.
north, the ball flies. Boys put balls in the air, they get off the end a little bit. Oh, double,
yeah,
homer.
yeah,
And then we go
Yeah.
back home and they got to deal with that heat. But we've been
Yeah.
living it. It's that we was born in it, like Bane was talking about on Batman. You really adopted it. We've been through this, baby. We're born in this.
100%. But there's
Yeah.
one thing that Henderson Alvarez that we was on dinner, and this is when I'm tired, man. I'm mentally tired. I'm tired because of the rain delays and stuff. I'm beat.
Yeah.
And I'm eating and I'm eating my food. I'm not having that we're gonna lose or nothing. I'm still believing it. I'm still there. So Henderson came in the freaking lunch spot and said, "Hey, I got a text. I got Joander telling me that I don't believe." He said, "I don't think we're gonna win tomorrow." And I'm like,
Hmm?
"Guy, you are the pitcher tomorrow. What
Yeah.
are we talking about?" You
Yeah.
know? And I'm like, "Bro, I finished my food, so happy." I'm like,
We already got you beat.
So
Yeah.
that's the first night that I slept through 11 or noon. Other than that night, I was just waking up at 6 like this.
Yeah. You
Oh.
felt peaceful. You were at peace. Oh,
I'm not gonna.
if
Yeah,
you believe it, you can achieve it. He didn't believe.
you did it. You didn't
So-
believe it,
He didn't
So
believe. So we already knew.
bro. That game or those games in Monterrey, they were special. We fight. We actually beat all the stuff that it was saying, even though that we beat Mexico City. They
Yeah.
already was saying, "Nah, you got no chance over there in Monterrey because of this or that." But fun part was winning that championship, celebrating that championship, and just sitting down and think all the stuff that we actually did and
through,
we
yeah.
went through. And you went like, that's why you never have to give up. You
Man.
never have to stop believe in yourself, or what can you put on the team to win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was unbelievable, man. You hit a homer there in Puebla too. I'm gonna bring in this. I talked with I talked with one of my friends, Leandro Cedeño. We did a podcast. It's fresh. It's last podcast that we hit a homer over there in Reno that he almost was 500 feet. And I said, that homer was far.
Yeah.
But I was there for those homers that you hit in Puebla. And I don't think that ball was landed yet, man. Tell me about that. How you feel and after you hit that ball? I know you pimped it, but the other feel that's after the record, you broke your records in that home run. How you feel about that?
Man, so in the moment, I was just pumped, because for me, it was the first at bat of the series that I had against them, The first run that we scored, it was like, this is the tone we're setting.
Oof.
This is where we're here. We're here to take your money. We're here to take your cookies. We're here to take your food, and now you're going to feel this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As soon as I hit it, boom, I remember looking to the dugout, like, let's go, letting everybody know, let's do this. This is our time. You know what I mean?
That was unbelievable.
So that part of me, the emotions of the game and what that game was for us, it fired me up and took me to a different place, right?
Yeah.
I didn't even know, honestly, how far the ball. Obviously, I looked and I could see it go over everything, right? But I didn't know how far it was. I didn't look to see on the TV. I just thought it was another home run that I crushed, and was like, oh, man. And then, like, during the game, like, shortly after that, people came up to me and they're like, bro, like, you hit that ball 537 feet. Like, what? Like, it's got to be the furthest ball you ever hit. And I was like, really? They were like, yeah. I was like, well, then, yeah, that's the furthest ball I've ever hit, Like,
yeah, of course, yeah.
I didn't know, you know what I mean? I was just like, hey, I hit it. Let's do what we have to do, and we're here, right?
Yeah.
So that part of it was cool to hear it, but it didn't register or click to me until after. Because you're in the moment, you're focused. And again, like I said,
you're in playoffs. That's nothing.
Playoffs. Like, I'm not thinking about no long distance. And that's why I feel like if I would have got caught up in that, I wouldn't have been able to come my next at bat and boom, do it again. You know what I mean? Like, so to do that in that moment was huge, but I didn't realize it, like how big it truly was until after the fact. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Then I got to sit on it and was like, dang, like that's really the furthest ball ever hit.
Yeah.
At least on TrackMan, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, like that's cool. You know what I mean? Like that's a sick
amazing,
record, a good feeling.
And I was behind there. I was behind it. I was like, I'm like,
yeah.
Well, Charles, hermano, I wish I had more time. Time to.
Me too. This is fun. And we can talk about this all day.
Man,
all the many moments.
I wish I had more time, man. I know you have a lot of stuff. I got a good stuff that happened in your life, but I'm gonna finish this great time with you, asking you how important is your family for
everything.
you?
Everything. Family for me means everything, and that's why we play this game, like not just for my immediate family now, but for my parents and my brothers and my sister, my grandparents, everybody, because everybody has poured so much into me, into my life and into my game. They've sacrificed so much to help me get to this point that I'm at now, So those are, if I had to give a shout out to anybody, it'd be to my family. And that gets me emotional because they've done so much. They've stuck through me. They stuck by me. I got released. It didn't matter if I had the worst month or the best month. They were by me the whole time, giving me the support that I needed to continue to get to a different level, to play higher, and to push me, because sometimes we don't realize, and as your parents, and what I'm realizing myself as a parent now is you see stuff within your children, you know what they're capable of, So whenever they doubt themselves, we're there to give that little push, like, hey, you got this, So my parents did that for me. And for them to do that for me was everything. But now I have my own 2 kids. I got my wife, like playing this game for them. And now this year they're going to be able to come out here and live with me.
That's amazing, hermano. That's great.
Now they get to see it.
Nice. Hey,
live.
I'm calling it now. I'm calling it right now. last year was an MVP season,
Thank you,
but
brother.
this year is gonna be another MVP great season for you, hermano. I'm calling it right now
I
because
believe
you got the commitment first, and you already know that you're a winner. But now you have you shield and you got your sword.
best
You're
believe.
ready for it, hermano.
It's a bad year to be a baseball, baby. I'm coming. I'm coming, baby. I'm coming, you know, and
Let's go.
bring
Hey,
my family with me.
hermano, thank you for the time. This
Thank you.
was amazing. I know people's gonna love it, and I know I'm gonna have you again. I know I'm gonna when you win the MVP, you're gonna give me that interview again. I
Yeah,
know. Hey,
I heard it here first. I heard everybody just heard it here first. You're the first person to say it.
let's
MVP
go.
season again is
I
going to be.
believe it, and I know you're way capable to do that and more things over that. So,
Thank
hermano,
you.
thank you. I wish you the best. I wish you to be healthy. That's the main thing. With
Yes, sir.
that, we can make everything. We can make everything possible. So,
Yes,
mano,
sir.
thank you. I wish you the best this year. And
Thank you.
say hello to everybody in Mokoro too, okay?
Yes, sir. We'll text him right after this. Hey, we gave you some shout outs. You got to watch that.
Hey, he gonna say like, hey, you said that I'm the caballo there.
First question, no doubt. First question, no doubt. So you did let him know that I'm the bio, right?
Hey,
Okay.
hermano, I love you, man,
Much love.
and
Thank you.
go ahead and kill, man. Thank you
You
for
know
your
it, brother.
time.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Peace.